Hello everybody. The impending wedding drama Drew and Willow's fateful union in Port Charles. The fictional town of Port Charles is bracing for what could be one of the most explosive wedding ceremonies in General Hospital history. As Drew Quartermaine and Willow Tate prepare to exchange vows, the atmosphere is thick with tension, betrayal, and the very real possibility of violence. What began as Drew's manipulative scheme to help Willow regain custody of her children has evolved into a powder keg of resentment that threatens to explode at the altar. Drew's growing list of enemies. Perhaps no character in Port Charles history has managed to alienate so many people in such a short span of time as Drew Quartermaine. His actions have created a veritable army of enemies, each with their own compelling motive for wanting to see him brought down. The list of those who harbor deep resentment toward Drew reads like a who's who of Port Charles society. Tracy Quartermaine stands at the forefront of Drew's enemies, her hatred intensified by his betrayal of family loyalty and his framing of her in a drugging scandal. Her fury has been building steadily, and she has made it clear that she intends to make Drew pay for his transgressions. Tracy's reputation for cunning revenge plots makes her a particularly dangerous adversary. The Corinthos family, including Michael, Carly, and Jason, have all been deeply wounded by Drew's actions. His betrayal of Michael through his affair with Willow, combined with his attempts to keep the family from their critically ill son, has created an unforgivable rift. Jason's physical confrontation with Drew, where he called him poison, demonstrates the depth of anger within the family. The volatile wedding atmosphere. As the wedding day approaches, the tension in Port Charles has reached a breaking point. Multiple characters have expressed their desire to see Drew face consequences for his actions, with some even making ominous comments about his potential demise. The atmosphere surrounding the ceremony is charged with the kind of dramatic tension that often precedes tragedy in soap opera storytelling. Tracy Quartermaine's presence at the wedding represents perhaps the greatest threat to the proceedings. Her public displays of anger and her history of dramatic intervention suggest that she may not be content to simply watch Drew marry Willow without taking action. The spoilers indicate that Tracy will make a public display during the week of the wedding, which could very well be the moment when her revenge plan comes to fruition. The shooting scenario, a tragic turn. The speculation surrounding a potential shooting at the wedding has captured the attention of General Hospital fans, with many anticipating that Drew's numerous enemies will finally catch up with him. The scenario where Tracy arrives at the wedding armed represents the culmination of months of building tension and betrayal. Her deep-seated hatred for Drew, combined with her fierce protective instincts regarding family honor, could drive her to take extreme measures. The possibility of Willow taking a bullet meant for Drew adds another layer of tragedy to this already complex storyline. Such an act would be consistent with Willow's character, who despite her poor judgment regarding Drew, has always been portrayed as someone willing to sacrifice for those she loves. The image of Willow throwing herself in front of Drew to protect him would serve as the ultimate demonstration of her misguided loyalty. The hospital rushed life and death stakes. Should the shooting scenario unfold as anticipated, the subsequent rush to General Hospital would bring the story full circle to the medical setting that gives the show its name. Drew's panic as he attempts to save Willow's life would represent a moment of genuine emotion from a character who has been portrayed as increasingly manipulative and self-serving. The irony of Willow potentially dying to save the man who has manipulated her would not be lost on viewers or other characters. The medical drama that would unfold at the hospital would provide opportunities for other characters to react to the shooting and its aftermath. Family members, friends, and enemies would all converge on the hospital, creating a pressure cooker environment where long-held secrets and resentments could finally be exposed. Character motivations and psychological dynamics. Understanding the psychological motivations behind this potential tragic scenario requires examining the complex web of relationships that Drew has destroyed through his actions. Tracy's hatred stems not just from personal betrayal, but from a deep sense of family honor that Drew has violated. Her potential resort to violence would represent the ultimate expression of her fury at seeing the Quartermaine name dragged through the mud. Willow's willingness to sacrifice herself for Drew, despite the manipulation she has endured, speaks to her character's fundamental nature. Her desperation to maintain her relationship with Drew, believing it to be her only path to her children, has blinded her to his true nature. The tragic irony of her potential sacrifice would serve as a powerful commentary on the destructive nature of manipulation and emotional abuse. The broader implications for Port Charles. The potential tragedy at Drew and Willow's wedding would have far-reaching consequences for the entire Port Charles community. Such a violent outbreak would force characters to confront the escalating tensions that have been building throughout the storyline. The shooting would likely serve as a catalyst for other revelations and confrontations that have been brewing beneath the surface. The medical emergency would also provide opportunities for heroic moments from the hospital staff, reinforcing the show's medical drama roots. Characters like Elizabeth, Portia, and other medical professionals would be thrust into life-or-death situations that test their skills and emotional resilience. The question of survival. Whether Willow would survive such a traumatic injury remains one of the most compelling questions surrounding this potential storyline. Soap operas have a long history of using near-death experiences to drive character development and relationship dynamics. Willow's survival would likely depend on several factors, including the extent of her injuries, the speed of medical intervention, and the dramatic needs of the ongoing storyline. The aftermath of such a shooting would provide rich material for exploring themes of redemption, forgiveness, and the consequences of one's actions. Drew would be forced to confront the reality of how his manipulative behavior has put someone he claims to care about in mortal danger. This could serve as a potential catalyst for character growth or, alternatively, further his descent into villainy. Next, we will dive deep into the controversial decision to write off Sam McCall from the long-running soap opera General Hospital. Nearly a year has passed since Sam, a beloved heroine, met her untimely demise on the show, and fans are still reeling from the shock. This isn't just about losing a character, it's about the void left in the intricate web of Port Charles' relationships and storylines. Why was Sam, a cornerstone of the series for over 2 decades, removed in such a perplexing manner? Let's unpack the layers of this decision, explore the impact of her absence, and speculate on what could have been if the writers had chosen a different path for this fan-favorite character. To begin with, Sam McCall's departure from General Hospital wasn't just a plot twist. It was a seismic shift that rattled the foundation of the show's loyal audience. For 20 years, Sam, portrayed with raw emotion by Kelly Monaco, had been a fierce, compassionate, and multidimensional character. She evolved from a mysterious con artist to a devoted mother and a pillar of strength in Port Charles. Fans couldn't fathom why the writers opted to end her journey so abruptly with a death that felt devoid of purpose. While her passing did provide emotionally charged scenes for characters like Dante Falconeri, Alexis Davis, and Jason Morgan, the overarching question remained: was her death merely a tool for short-lived drama, or did the writers have a grander, yet unseen, plan? Beyond the tears shed on screen, the decision left a bitter taste in viewers' mouths as they mourned not just Sam, but the potential for countless future storylines that could have showcased her resilience and heart. Delving deeper into the specifics of her exit, the choice of Cyrus Renaud as the orchestrator of Sam's demise baffled many. Cyrus, a villain with a penchant for chaos, was undoubtedly a menacing figure in Port Charles, but pinning Sam's murder on him felt like a missed opportunity for a more intricate whodunit. Imagine if the writers had crafted a layered mystery around her death, with clues scattered across the town, implicating multiple suspects from vengeful ex-lovers to hidden enemies lurking in the shadows of her past as a grifter. Instead, the lack of motive behind Cyrus's actions rendered the storyline flat. Why target Sam, a character with no direct conflict with him at the time, when there were others in Port Charles with far more personal grudges against her? Perhaps the show could have explored a connection between Cyrus and a long-forgotten figure from Sam's early days, adding depth to the narrative. Without such complexity, her death felt like a convenient plot device rather than a pivotal moment deserving of her legacy. Fans craved a storyline that honored Sam's intelligence and grit, not one that buried her without a fight. Moreover, Sam's absence has left an undeniable gap in the lives of her children and loved ones, amplifying the frustration over her exit. As a mother, Sam was the glue holding her family together, navigating the chaos of Port Charles with a protective ferocity. Her children, Danny and Scout, are now left grappling with a fractured family dynamic, with fathers who, at times, seem more preoccupied with their own romantic entanglements than parenting. Danny, in particular, has shown signs of rebellion in recent episodes, a clear cry for the stabilizing presence Sam once provided. Scout, still so young, deserves a mother's gentle guidance during these formative years. Couldn't the writers have explored a temporary disappearance or kidnapping plot instead of death, allowing for an eventual triumphant return? Such a storyline could have united Jason Morgan and Dante in a thrilling search, rekindling old alliances and rivalries while keeping Sam's essence alive in the narrative. Her permanent removal feels like a disservice not just to her character, but to the young lives she fought so hard to protect. Adding another layer to the discussion, the timing of Sam's death couldn't have been more suited given the surrounding drama in Port Charles. Just as she was embarking on a new chapter with Dante, having recently become engaged, the re-emergence of Lulu Spencer's coma recovery storyline threw everything into disarray. Sam, who heroically played a role in saving Lulu, found her own happiness overshadowed by the unresolved tension between Dante and his ex-wife. The writers could have leaned into this love triangle, allowing Sam to fight for her relationship with Dante while grappling with her own insecurities about Lulu's return. Instead, her death felt like a hasty way to sidestep this potential conflict, reducing her to a mere casualty of competing plotlines. Furthermore, her absence robbed the show of a chance to explore how she might have influenced the tangled web involving Dante, Lulu, and Brooklyn Chase's son. Sam's knack for uncovering truths could have positioned her as a key player in resolving that mystery, proving once again why she was indispensable to the fabric of Port Charles. Beyond personal relationships, Sam's death also impacted broader family dynamics, particularly with her sister Christina Corinthos Davis and mother Alexis Davis. Christina, known for her impulsive decisions, has spiraled into dangerous territory, including an attempt to harm Ava Jerome. Sam had always been a grounding force for Christina, offering tough love and wisdom that Alexis, burdened by her own legal and personal battles, struggles to provide. Without Sam, Christina's actions have escalated, leaving fans to wonder how her sister's presence might have steered her away from such destructive paths. Perhaps Sam could have mediated between Christina and Ava, using her street-smart instincts to defuse the situation before it exploded. Alexis, too, is drowning in issues of blackmail and emotional turmoil, and Sam's absence only exacerbates her isolation. The writers missed a chance to showcase the strength of the Davis family women uniting against adversity, a theme that could have resonated deeply with viewers who admired their bond. Finally, the off-screen whispers of backstage drama and interpersonal conflicts among the cast add an extra layer of intrigue to Sam's departure. While rumors of tension between stars have circulated hinted at by Kelly Monaco herself through cryptic social media posts, these should not have influenced a character's fate on screen. Story-wise, Sam's death served no long-term purpose beyond temporary shock value. Drew Kane's troubling behavior towards Sam's daughter Scout, coupled with his obsessive pursuit of Willow Corinthos, only underscores the need for Sam's protective presence. Could her return, perhaps through a dramatic twist revealing she faked her death to uncover a larger conspiracy, breathe new life into these stagnant arcs? Fans are clamoring for a resolution that doesn't leave Sam in a grave, but rather sees her kidnapped or in hiding, waiting for Jason to bring her back to her rightful place. Imagine the emotional payoff of a reunion, not just with her children, but with every character whose life she touched over the years, a moment that could redefine General Hospital for a new era. Next, we will explore the emotionally charged developments awaiting Jason Morgan and Carly Spencer in the bustling world of Port Charles. As the week of June 23rd to 27th draws to a close, these two iconic characters are set to share a heartwarming moment that will tug at the heartstrings of longtime fans. Beyond this tender interlude, their storyline intertwines with family celebrations, past reflections, and looming dangers for other key players like Sonny Corinthos. Add to that the potential return of a familiar face in a surprising twist, and the stage is set for drama, nostalgia, and maybe even romance. Let's dive into the intricate details of what's coming up on General Hospital, unpacking every layer of this captivating narrative with fresh insights and imaginative additions. First, let's set the scene for the upcoming emotional crescendo involving Jason and Carly during the week's finale. As Port Charles prepares for the christening of Daisy Gilmore Corinthos, the beloved daughter of Michael Corinthos and Sasha Gilmore Corbin, a wave of joy sweeps through the community. This special occasion, slated for June 27th, brings together a constellation of loved ones, including Jason, who holds the honored role of Daisy's godfather. Carly, always a central figure in the Corinthos family saga, will stand by his side during the ceremony at the quaint St. Mary's Chapel, a venue steeped in Port Charles history. The christening isn't just a celebration of new life, it's a poignant reminder of the cycles of family and love that define this town. Spoilers hint that this event will serve as the backdrop for a significant moment between Jason and Carly, one that transcends the present and reaches deep into their shared history. The sight of little Daisy in her delicate white gown, surrounded by doting relatives, is sure to stir something profound in both of them, setting the stage for a conversation that could redefine their dynamic. Delving into the heart of this pivotal moment, the christening sparks a flood of nostalgic memories for Jason and Carly, who have weathered countless storms together over the years. As they stand near the baptismal font, the echoes of their past come alive, particularly their tender recollections of Michael's own infancy. Fans can expect a scene brimming with quiet emotion as they reminisce about late-night feedings, first steps, and the protective instincts that bonded them as surrogate parents amidst chaos. Perhaps Carly will recall a specific moment, like the time Jason crafted a makeshift crib for Michael during one of their many on-the-run escapades, a testament to their resilience as a team. Jason, ever the stoic protector, might share a rare smile as he remembers teaching a toddler Michael to toss a ball, a fleeting slice of normalcy in their tumultuous lives. These flashbacks, interwoven with the christening's serene atmosphere, underscore the depth of their connection, a bond forged in fire and nurtured through unwavering loyalty. It's a moment crafted for viewers who have followed their journey, a reminder of why Jason and Carly remain one of the show's most enduring pairings. Shifting focus to the broader implications of this storyline, the spotlight on Jason and Carly's relationship couldn't come at a more critical juncture, especially with sunny Corinthos teetering on the edge of disaster. As the head of the Corinthos clan faces a looming crisis, be it a dramatic arrest tied to his underworld dealings or a life-threatening injury from a rival's ambitious absence, creates a vacuum in Port Charles. Insiders suggest that Sonny's predicament, possibly involving a tense standoff at the docks or a betrayal by a trusted ally, will unfold with gripping intensity. This turmoil provides fertile ground for Jason and Carly to step up, not just as individuals, but as a united front. Their history of safeguarding the family during Sonny's darkest hours, think back to the days of mob wars and hidden safe house, positions them as the natural anchors in this storm. Could this crisis reignite old sparks, drawing them closer as they navigate legal battles or hospital vigils for Sonny? The writers seem poised to explore this, using Sonny's struggles as a catalyst to deepen the emotional and perhaps romantic currents between Jason and Carly, much to the delight of fans rooting for their reunion. On another front, Carly's personal life adds further complexity to her evolving dynamic with Jason. She's currently entangled in a romance with Jack Brennan, a relationship headed for a spectacular implosion due to his deceptive maneuvers. Brennan's shady dealings with the WSB World Security Bureau have inadvertently put Jocelyn Jacks, Carly's fierce and beloved daughter, in grave danger, perhaps through a botched operation that exposes Joss to a vengeful operative. When the truth surfaces, likely in a heated confrontation at the Metro Court, Carly's fury will know no bounds. Her protective maternal instincts will clash with the heartbreak of betrayal, leaving her vulnerable and in need of a steadfast ally. Enter Jason, whose unyielding support has always been her refuge. Picture late-night strategy sessions at Carly's house, with Jason poring over clues to neutralize the threat to Joss while Carly wrestles with her shattered trust. This scenario not only amplifies their reliance on each other but also hints at the writers paving the way for a romantic rekindling, especially as Carly distances herself from Brennan's web of lies. Their shared history of overcoming betrayal could be the glue that binds them once more. Adding an electrifying twist to the mix, the buzz-around Kelly Thibault's return to General Hospital in July introduces a wild card into Jason and Carly's narrative. Thibault, previously known for portraying the complex Brit Westburn, might reprise her role or step into a completely new character, possibly Brit's long-lost twin sister, a genetic anomaly tied to a shadowy medical experiment, or even a resurrected Brit through a bizarre sci-fi twist. Rumors swirl that her character could be positioned for a romantic entanglement with Jason, reigniting the sparks of their past fling. Remember how Carly's jealousy simmered when Jason grew close to Brit years ago, her insecurities bubbling over during tense encounters at the hospital. that dynamic could resurface with renewed vigor, especially as Jason and Carly's connection is being highlighted just before Thibault's comeback. Imagine a charity gala at the Port Charles Hotel where Britt or her mysterious counterpart sweeps in, catching Jason's eye with a familiar yet enigmatic charm. While Carly watches from across the room, her heart caught between nostalgia and rivalry. This sets the stage for a potential love triangle, a juicy development that could test Jason and Carly's bond in ways fans haven't seen in years. Expanding on this romantic speculation, the possibility of a love triangle involving Jason, Carly, and Britt or her doppelganger offers a treasure trove of drama for General Hospital to mine. Carly's past possessiveness over Jason, often masked by fierce independence, could flare up as she senses a threat to their unspoken connection. Perhaps Britt's return comes with revelations of unresolved feelings for Jason, confessed during a vulnerable moment at Kelly's diner over coffee, and confidences. Jason, torn between his loyalty to Carly and a rekindled attraction, might grapple with his emotions in a rare display of inner conflict. Picture him staring out over the Port Charles skyline from the Quartermain mansion, wrestling with where his heart truly lies. Meanwhile, Carly could channel her unease into protective actions for her family, doubling down on her alliance with Jason while subtly probing his feelings. The writers have a golden opportunity to weave a storyline that balances romance with tension, drawing viewers into a classic soap opera conundrum. Will history repeat itself? Or will Jason and Carly emerge stronger than ever against this new challenge? In wrapping up, the upcoming episodes of General Hospital promise a rich tapestry of emotion, memory, and intrigue for Jason Morgan and Carly Spencer. From the touching nostalgia of Daisy's christening on June 27th to the undercurrents of Sunny's impending crisis, their bond is poised to take center stage in unexpected ways. Carly's heartbreak over Brennan's betrayal, coupled with the tantalizing return of Kelly Thibault's character, adds layers of complexity to an already compelling arc. Whether this leads to a romantic reunion for Jason and Carly or a fiery love triangle with Britt's mysterious reappearance, one thing is certain: Port Charles is in for a roller coaster of drama. We invite you to share your thoughts and predictions in the comments below. Will Jason and Carly finally cross the line from friends to lovers, or will new obstacles keep them apart? Thank you for tuning into ABC General Hospital Spoilers channel, and stay tuned for more updates on the ever-unfolding saga of Port Charles.